My name is Harrison Jiroge Kamande. I'm a ranger based at Nairobi National Park. I feel most privileged to work in the only park within a city.
When you talk about a protected area, people are not allowed to go in. Yet wildlife is in community land. If now young people spear an elephant, the rangers, the Kenya Wildlife Service, the police, they will come for your neck.
If we allow people to interact with the animals here, we'll always have problems. My name is Harrison Jiroge Kamande. I'm a ranger based at Nairobi National Park, Rhino Unit. When I was young, funny enough, I dreamt of being a doctor, but I ended up being a ranger. But I'm very proud of myself. The feeling I had the first time I became a ranger, you know, when you go to training school, you have a lot of theory in yourself. And when you come to the field, you face the reality now. You interact with the animals. Not learning only, you interact with them. You know how to survive in the bush. I feel most privileged to work in a park, the only park within a city.
Nairobi is the capital and largest city in Kenya. This city of 3.5 million people has come a long way from when it was founded in 1899 as a simple railway depot. Nairobi is also the only city in the world with a national park.
National Park venye nilienjoy tu sana the view. Siko imagine kuna place inakaa hivyo Kenya. Because the first time niliona lion, niliona ndani ya National Park.
You get to interact with nature, you walk, you see the birds, you see all the animals closely.
The Nairobi National Park was established in 1946. It is only 7 kilometers from the city center. The park boasts of a wide range of animals and also hosts one of the most successful rhinoceros sanctuaries in the country. The game rangers live in the park, and every morning they head out on patrol to monitor the animals and also protect them from poachers. Harrison has done this work for 4 years.
The biggest challenge is that we are based almost at the city center. And being based at the city center, it means we are vulnerable to any kind of danger that may be posed, could be by people posing to be tourists in the park or some other people invading the park, coming for ivory.
Poachers are not the only threat to Harrison and his teammates. Wild animals are the biggest threat. 90% of deaths of game rangers are caused by attacks from wild animals.
Ni mbili. Niko wawili. Niko mbele. Lazima nini ndume.
Across there we can see a buffalo, and a lone buffalo is known to always to be very violent, and that's why when you're foot patrolling, we always have to be on the lookout because these animals are dangerous and wild. So that is one of the challenges that we face in the bush, because at the end of the day we don't want to have any casualties. We want to continue conserving the animals that we always conserve on daily basis. Is it there?
Two of them.
We are going to go off wind and we'll be on the lookout because the buffalo can attack us on any time. So we must try to check on whether he's going to ambush us or whether we are going to avoid or whether he's ready to go to another place.
You can go.
The Nairobi National Park is fenced on the northern side, but the southern part is open and the animals are allowed to migrate in and out of the park freely. This allows the centuries-old migration route to exist to this day. The Maasai community owns the land to the south of the park and they live side by side with the animals.
My name's Ogeli Makui. I work for the Wildlife Foundation as a project manager. This is where I grew up. This is where I was born, and I still live here. My home is just over the hill. I keep cattle like some of the Maasais do. Yeah, and I also keep some sheep that are on the other side of the farm. So as you can see, we have cattle and we have wildlife. Like you can see, that's an antelope there. And most often we have zebras here. I don't know where they have gone today. Maybe they sensed that you are coming and then they decided to take off. But on Sunday there were so many here. So that's a herd of migrating hartebeest. You see they are running? Yeah, that's migration proper. And there is you can see this one, this is a hare.
Oh yeah.
This is a hare.
That's wow.
Yeah. This place was so nice when we were growing up. There was hardly any built-up environment like we can see along the highway. It was all plains. There were so many wild beasts, so many elands, so many hartebeests, so many zebras, herds of gazelles. And then there was only one village over there and ours near the highway. And all this place was plain. We used to chase wildlife here the whole day. We used to have dogs and you would go home very tired. When the park was created, it was actually a kind of creating this harmony between families, because we would say Nairobi Park and the community outside are one family. Their interaction is supposed to be positive. It's supposed to be complementary. It's supposed to be mutually reinforcing. But when you talk about a protected area, people are not allowed to go in. Yet wildlife that is protected in the park is in community land. So there has to be, we have deliberately to work out to create a harmonious coexistence between these two entities, the park and the communities.
The name of this rhino is Eli, and it has a small calf. The calf is already named. We have named it Kahihia. The reason we value animals, it's like a cultural heritage. And tourism is one of the core or one of the key players in our economy. It plays a big role. And if we allow people to interact with the animals here, we'll always have problems. Some will do poaching. Some will do some funny things that will end up, could be finishing could be the population that we have in the park. When the Maasais bring their cattle in the park, they kind of interfere with our daily routine.
Harrison has spotted a group of Maasai that are grazing illegally in the park. he will attempt to make an arrest. The Maasai are too fast. Harrison could not make the arrest.
We have a cattle incursion in the park, and there were at least 4 people who were herding the cattle. So I was trying my best to make an arrest, but they have suppressed me because I'm alone. Hello, nakwambia hii area ya kwenyu kuna ng'ombe wengi sana saa hii. Ng'ombe. Unaona pale kwa mchanga nyeusi pale kwa nini 16? Hapo kuna ng'ombe wengi sana. Kuna ng'ombe vikundi 2. Iko watu hata nimejaribu kukimbiza saa hii na sijafaulu kushika hata moja.
With the owners of the cattle gone, Harrison decides to confiscate the cows as he waits for backup. As the drought continues, this is not the last time Harrison deals with cattle incursion. The Maasai are under pressure to feed their cattle. The park has plenty of grass, unlike the overgrazed fields outside the park.
If you are not on foot patrols or on daily monitoring routine, you'll find us dealing with removing the cattle from the park, pushing it outside now. It becomes a challenge because it makes you not fulfill whatever you had gone to do in the park. And at the end of the day, you find it deters us from our main issue.
At night, the rhino rangers camp in the park to protect the animal from poachers. This year alone, 70 elephants and 1 rhino have been killed. All of them have been killed at night.
We are preparing for supper and a recap of whatever we have been doing during the day. Ile python tuliona, hakuna mwenye alikuwa anaambia mwingine ameenda.
Inakuwa hapo inaingia mpaka kwa mto.
Hiyo unaona ukiwa kazi usiku, barabara kando na kando, huoni mkia, huoni nini, huoni kichwa. Hiyo inavuka barabara yote, inafunga hivi. Bwana Chariot, it's hard. And more so when you have a wife and a kid, it becomes a bigger challenge. Reason being, the kid will always ask about his dad, and the mama has a big problem explaining to the kid where the dad is. And sometimes the kid don't understand because they live with others in the estates asking about how come someone's dad is coming home and my dad is not coming home.
Mr. Ogali is a local representative for the Africa Wildlife Fund. From this office, they try to address issues that arise because of human-wildlife conflict. Because of high population increase lately, there has been a lot of pressure on the Maasai to lease their land for development.
So we have the Wildlife Conservation Lease Program. This program was started in an effort to help the Maasais access wildlife and conservation benefits so that they are able to appreciate wildlife outside protected areas. The Wildlife Conservation Lease Program pays $4 per acre per year. And outside Nairobi National Park, there is high competition for space because of the impact of Nairobi City. There is more demand for land space outside Nairobi, and there is a lot of pressure for the people to sell their land. My home is this parcel number 40. So this is my parcel here. If the whole open land south of the park, as we can see from the map, is sold up or is converted to urban places, then we are going to have a park that is not able to sustain itself, because there is a very strong evidence that there is more wildlife outside a park than inside a park.
In 2010, lions from the park killed 10 cows. The Maasai community was angry and went on a revenge mission, killing any lion they could get their hands on because the government was refusing to compensate them for the dead cows. Concerned citizens saw these images on television and decided to come up with a consolation program to comfort the Maasai who lose their animals to predators from the game park. These reduced the human-wildlife conflict. The program also compensated the Maasai for letting animals from the park graze in their land.
In 2009, I had leopards that killed 23 of my sheep. It's quite terrible. It's a very painful loss, and more so because my values restrain me from retaliating, and so it's quite a very painful experience. You lose your lamb, you lose the probability of it multiplying, you lose the meat, you lose everything. It's quite a sad thing. There should be compensation for property that is damaged by wildlife, whether crops, livestock, human life, but that's yet to come to pass as a law in this country. Because if a person is trampled on by an elephant, then the family cries and that's the end of it. But if now young people spear an elephant, that's a completely different thing. The rangers, the Kenya Wildlife Service, the police, they will come for your neck. So, even though sometimes the elephant that has killed a person is shot, but that's not enough. It's good to compensate for life, because families lose their breadwinners, young people are lost. It's a very painful thing.
Harrison is on patrol, trying to account for all the rhinos in his sector. The population of these endangered species has doubled over the last decade. The number is expected to be on the rise because of increased vigilance by game wardens like Harrison.
We have a strength of about 43 guys so far, but we still need more because the animals, they are vulnerable and they are almost going to extinct, and we'd like to take care of them until could be we minimize the poaching issue. I can tell the name of this rhino. It's a female calf named Mary, and her mother is just within this range. The main identification features of this rhino is the horn. It is not yet notched, but we have a plan of doing that in the course of the year.
We don't value animals than human beings. What happens when conflict comes, human beings always complain about us. Whatever is inside the park, whatever kind of animals are in the park are coexisting in the way that they should be, without much interference from human beings.
Work for the Wildlife Foundation as a general manager.
Mr. Ogali is in a meeting with the board of the African Wildlife Foundation to see if they can raise more money to compensate the Maasai who have lost their animals to wildlife.
We are privileged to have this meeting between the community warden and Joanne Sikand. She's a Wildlife Foundation fundraiser for the conservation scheme.
The predators which are disturbing, especially from the park, are the lions.
Are the lions?
Yeah.
You know, we have now how many lions in the park, Ogilvy?
I think they're about between 35 and 40.
The program averages, am I not correct, about 2 million shillings a year. And I think a lot of goodwill has been achieved by our recent payout. I mean, it was successful from many angles. First of all, it was the TWF that came forward with these.
Since March 2000, they have paid out $5.3 million to the Maasai community. Programs like this benefit both the animals and the community living in the ecosystem of the park.
Can I close the meeting now? Can we declare the meeting is
We
adjourned?
can.
And then of course we can say anything else outside the meeting. So thank you.
These are the two white rhinos. Let's see whether we can be able to identify them.
Ntaitio ng'ole irkuo namara naa keshaiki ake ompaka omekenyu. Neeku naa ore kuna kerro ijo ore paabol emwatata neng'orunye aipang'u.
Today, Mr. Ogali is meeting some members of the Maasai community to distribute checks as compensation for letting wild animals leave and migrate on their land. This scheme has distributed $1.3 million in 4 years. The Maasai spent a big chunk of this money on educating their children.
Na yakai enkalifu nabo eeta ashu nkalifuni are. Merenata ore adake mpisai niya nemeeta enkerai nemeipang'ie tiang'. Amu ina naaji enchipai ang' sapuk oleng. Ore enkae, today here we are gathering to pay people what we call lease money. So we are paying people for having to keep their lands open for the use of wildlife on their land. Occasionally there are frictions here and there. Like for example, when we have livestock moving into the park, but the reality is, while the cattle are not allowed inside the park, the wildlife are freely moving into private lands outside the park. We have about 60 cows killed in a year, and approximately between 100 and 150 small stock like sheep, goats. Those small stocks, they are killed in large numbers, especially in the rain season. When they kill the livestock, then because we don't want the Maasai to kill the lions, then we console them so that we don't have two carcasses, that of a cow and that of a predator. This program is good. It's actually creating harmonious coexistence between wildlife and livestock. It's giving Maasai families money to send their children to school, like we are doing today, where some families receive up to 70,000 shillings depending on their acreages, and they send their children to school. It's a win-win situation. You have wildlife on your land, you have you have livestock, and you have income generated from that relationship, and this affords people a lot of positive relationship between them and the wildlife. Yeah.
Kuna pundamilia na ile ingine inaitwa ile na swara. Aina mingi ya mnyama iko ndani ya shamba yangu, ndani ya jirani hapo, yote nakula pamoja na ng'ombe. Tunafurahia sana maana tunalisha, tunakula pamoja, nakula silange yangu, nakula maji yangu, nakaa namna hiyo. Hawa wanatulipa nyasi kulisha mnyama, wanatusaidia. Sipokuwa tu wanalipa kitu kidogo, lakini wakituongezea inaonekana hiyo tutafaulu.
Ore kila la benya na bebo nona rero na ore benya na kadamu ajo kala liki David Pelo na likio ama idi nanu arara mera nentoki nikiata era na nkishu pookin.
Africa's population is expected to double in the next 2 decades. This will directly put pressure on animal sanctuaries like the Nairobi National Park.
We know for sure that no country can fake wildlife. They can fake cars. They can come up, they can fake anything else, the clothes you're wearing, the shoes you're wearing, the design of a computer. But they cannot fake a lion. They cannot fake a buffalo. They cannot fake the plains of Nairobi National Park. We're endowed with these resources and they're not accidental. They're beautiful. They're for the good of humankind. So we should be more committed like never before to protect them.
If you don't take care of this park, could be the generations that will be coming after us, they won't be boasting of what we are boasting now. We are dealing with unique animals that are almost going to extinct due to poaching, and I feel proud when I'm in the unit because I take care of what God created, and the creation can't go on without the role that I play on daily basis. And I'd like to be remembered of taking care of these rare species in Kenya.